Well, there is no better person out there in the country that's really had a bird's eye view of Earth except for our next guest. His experience as the first Canadian living at the International Space Station has also greatly shaped the next part of his quest, saving Earth. Joining us now live this morning is Chris Hadfield, the co-chair of the Elevate Festival and, of course, famed Canadian astronaut. Chris Hadfield, so great to have you on CP24 Breakfast today. Thanks so much for your time. And I really want to get into this because, you famously showed us what Earth looked like from space, several years ago. You put a book out about it as well. And in your pictures, you can see the damage that's been done to Earth. And over the last couple of years in the pandemic, we've seen the Earth kind of heal itself a little bit based on people sort of staying home, not, burning fossil fuels as much in their cars, et cetera. I wonder what that says to you about our impact on the planet and also about the planet's ability to heal itself.
One of the things, it's good morning to you, Nick. One of the things I got to see living off Earth on 3 different space flights was the inherent toughness of this planet over its 4.5 billion year history and the toughness of life itself. But if we want to maintain a good quality of standard of living for the nearly 8 billion people, that's really where our decision making comes in. And Earth Day is a great day to think about that. How do we bring in the technologies and the innovations, stop doing things exactly the same way, so that not only can we live good lives, but also do it in a way that's going to last to multiple generations after ours.
Mm-hmm. And Elevate Festival really brings that together, and it's really the intersection of sort of technology and arts, which maybe sort of a left brain, right brain thing, but there are sort of overlapping areas where they intersect here. Can you tell us a bit about Elevate? Because of course it was postponed for the pandemic, but what people can expect if they attend or sort of get to see some of it?
Yeah, I'm really, I think we should be using both sides of all our brains.
For sure.
Elevate Festival, it's in September, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's as big, or I guess bigger than it's ever been. It's the biggest technology and arts festival in Canada. There's a multi-night block party. There's a great job fair going on for people that want to be part of it. There's an art gallery showcase, including NFTs. People can learn a little bit about that technology. And it takes place sort of right across the downtown, specifically at the Meridian Hall and at the St. Lawrence Center and the Design Exchange in that area of the city, the 20th, 22nd of September. And I'm really looking forward to it. It is such a great little crossover between left, right brain, innovation, arts, and design. It's a great chance to get together and talk about what's possible.
So you're a scientist, you're a pilot, you've studied all sorts of things. What do you have in common with arts and artists? Because there is that commonality there, and I'm interested in kind of drilling down on where you see the connections being made.
Yeah, well, I'm a musician as well, and I've written 4 books, and so I think it's really important to use all of the skills that we have. And to me, art, that's how we explain the universe to ourselves. We can maybe understand it technically, but that's the way we can communicate with each other, whether it's through artistic creations or music or just in deep conversation. That's the very essence of being human, and I think we need all of that if we want to live a good life and take care of all of us that are living on this planet. And Elevate Festival is just such a cool, big part of that. A chance to really talk about those issues, but bring some of Canada's greatest tech right to the fore as well. Okay,
well, we can't bring on Canada's greatest astronaut without talking a little more about space. So I have to ask you, a lot of the recent space stories we've talked about have featured 3 names: Branson, Musk, and Bezos, kind of that celebrity space race. A lot of people look at it as a kind of a billionaire flex. They're burning a lot of fuel to get up into space. What do you make of what's happening in terms of the current space race now and the sort of, show-off side of it rather than the science side of it?
Well, I think you're missing the point almost entirely, Nick. If you pick up your phone, or if you look at the Weather Channel, or if you ever use your GPS, or if you want, if you want to watch television for somewhere around the world, if you want high-speed data connectivity, internet from space, that's what the current technology is bringing all of us. It is improving. I mean, we don't need to put up all sorts of facilities all around the world because it's directly available from space. And if you just focus on the CEOs of companies, you're going to get incredibly distracted. The access to space, what it's opening up for human commerce, that's the really amazing thing that's happening. And so to me, that's also the fact that some people are flying in space who otherwise never would have had a chance to see our world and bring back that perspective. I think that's really important for us also.
And that is kind of where I wanted to go with that, because it's opening up space to a different sort of degree, right? There's sort of the commercial aspect to it. It's getting so much attention. Yes, a lot of people are focusing on the CEOs, but it's bringing space and the science behind it kind of to this new level here. And is it fair to say that things are accelerating at a rate that perhaps you hadn't expected 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when your career was first getting underway?
Yeah, 30 years ago. When things get radically less expensive and safer, it opens up whole new markets. Think what happened in aviation over the last 100 years, or trains over the last 200 years, or cars, or whatever. That's now happening in space flight. And it's still early. It's still expensive, but it is far cheaper and safer than it was when I first flew in space. And so that's the big revolution that's happening. And I run a space technology incubator, the Creative Destruction Lab. There's a huge number of businesses that are looking at this opportunity to help everybody and to build more successful economies for us. So it's a really interesting and exciting time. And it is that crossover between the technology and the innovation, and then all of the human creativity that can be spawned from that.
Okay, well, listen, Chris Hadfield, good luck with Elevate in September. Perhaps we can catch up with you then. In the meantime, always a pleasure to have you here on CP24 Breakfast. Thanks for your time.
Nice to talk to you, Nick.
Thank you.